Welcome! It is Valentine's Day today. That's the 14th of February, in case you were wondering. You're here with Crystal. I am here from Crystal Clear Coaching, and I am here talking different ways to tune into you and, own your own life and get what you want out of your life too. That's what we do around here, in case you're new. And there's not a more important person in your life than you. So spend time with yourself, even if it's Valentine's Day, because you're the most important person in your life. No matter how much other people around you might try and tell you differently or make you think differently. Doesn't mean they can't be important, but there's no guarantee that anyone else will be in your life your entire life. But you will be in your life your entire life. So, she's pretty important. You and yourself, or you could say me, myself, and I, but you say it because I can't say it to you because then it would sound like I'm talking about me. You know what I mean? It's beautiful that there's a holiday to celebrate romantic relationships. And, it is kind of commercialized, let's be honest, so it's maybe lost the meaning that it's supposed to have. But I believe that's a choice for each person, each couple, to decide for themselves how much they want to buy into the commercialism and how much they just want to treasure each other on these days. And that's great. For people in relationships, awesome. And people that are not in relationships, well, we can celebrate Galentine's Day or Palentine's Day for the dudes. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, if I just made it up. I don't know. But the point is, we could just celebrate ourselves as well, Maybe it doesn't need to be on the same day as Valentine's Day, but the point is, you are worth romancing, even if you're just the one doing the romancing of yourself. And I know, yes, there's not going to be surprises if you're planning the things for yourself, but only you know or can discern what you want. And, there's plenty of people that don't know what they want, but you're much more likely to know what you want if you sit down and actually take the time to figure out what you want. And also overcome any blocks to owning what you want. Owning that, oh no, I actually want to go for this thing, which if I speak to the wrong people about it, they're going to try and cut me down to size. That's a big thing in New Zealand. I think maybe Australia too. Less so in Australia, I feel. But we have this thing called tall poppy syndrome. So poppies are linked to the Australia and New Zealand Army Corporation, ANZAC, because every ANZAC Day to commemorate the war, we would have poppies for donations to charities to commemorate the occasion. So tall poppy syndrome is when we're trying to cut someone down to size because their ambitions have got too high, and poppies kind of refer to Australia and New Zealand. The reason I say more New Zealand than Australia is because New Zealanders than Australians is because Australia just naturally being bigger with a big population, ambition is allowed a little bit more here, I'm finding. Whereas in New Zealand, if you become too, high, too much on your high horse to the chill, laid back way of being, there unfortunately is a bit of an energy of trying to chop you down to size. And I also send love to anyone that is doing that, but they're probably doing it to themselves as well. So, it is something that, has played on my mind in different moments in my life. But it's not something I would let hold me back now. If I want to do something that I know the general consensus of people around me, they're not going to think that it's possible for me. I prefer to just not discuss those kind of dreams with those people. Doesn't mean I can't hold space and still love them if they're friends or family or whatever, but it just means I know that they're not a safe space for me to share those dreams while they're still being cultivated, you know? Like when I've proven myself, then they'll all say, "Oh, I always knew you could do it." But, until then, I don't want anything in my field, in my mindset, to come in on being like, well, that person doubted me and they said I couldn't do it, and they've known me for quite a while and maybe they're right. And then, like, could that be the thing that stops me from going for what I want and creating the things that I want to create that could really help people in this world? Like, how sad would that be? I don't want to do that. And I'm sure if if that friend actually could see my perspective and my whole understanding of why I'm choosing to go for the thing, even though I might not be capable in their eyes, I'm sure they would still want me to go for my best and highest, and they would be proud of me if I got there. And if they're not, they're probably not that great of a friend or person to be having in your life anyway and sharing your dreams with. So really becomes pretty clear when you think about it like that. Yeah. Yeah, why'd I get onto tall poppy syndrome? Yeah, why did I don't know. Anyway, maybe it'll come back to me, maybe it won't. But yeah, Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day. How do I make it about me? Or you. How do we make it about us? Like, individually, by ourselves. You know? Anyway, I can't come up with a, like, I was going to say self-entire, that doesn't make any, no. Anyway, my point is, it's like important to fill ourselves up first, romance ourselves, find ways to really cultivate the things that we get excited about, and not trust our dreams with the wrong people, the wrong energies that we can't trust to hold that for us. And sometimes there might be no one you can share it with, and that's okay. And sometimes you might share it with someone that you wish you hadn't. But that doesn't mean you can't then continue to move forward. And yeah. I wish I could remember why I brought up tall poppies. Anyway, tall poppy syndrome is just not fun, because I love the idea that everyone might have their own personal way and brand of helping the world, and like that deeper ambition that maybe they haven't even admitted to themselves about what they want. That if they actually took the time with themselves, romance themselves a little bit, got to know themselves, and me, myself, and I, but them saying it to, then they might discover, I really want this thing, and I really want to amplify my message and put it out into the world and help people with this particular thing, and that could create a magnificent ripple effect around the world. And if we were all doing that, or at least like a majority were filling ourselves up first, romancing ourselves, getting us excited, and then creating something that's going to be of service to others and help others and do good for others and ourselves too, because we're important, then just how different would this world be, I mean, I don't know how many people have been unfortunately diving into the Epstein files lately, and this feels like a weird time to be bringing it up, but I honestly think, in a way, it's kind of just the right time, because how many of us are trying to go on like normal, and we've read these horrific segments of these awful files of what this awful circle of people did. And that's not okay. And you just think these assholes, just absolutely abhorrent assholes, doing whatever they want, and meanwhile we're holding ourselves back from like creating something beautiful and good for the world that's actually going to help people and not cause hurt to others. And yet these assholes that sit on their piles of money and then create these insidious rings of just awful energy, and like hurt people and hurt more people. And like, I'm not going any deeper than this tonight on this, but you get my point. I want the good people of the world to believe in their ambition, that they can help and be of service in the way that's important to them, that's been put on their heart, their soul, their life. I want them to be able to show up and be well, like, looked after financially, emotionally, physically, like all the ways to have a whole, an abundantly whole life, in more than just like financial wealth. I'm just talking about wealth in all means, because wealth means more than just your finances. It's your health is also your wealth. And but like in a way that like, and I know the good people of the world, like, they're going to create things that are of service to humanity, and look at how we can actually help each other's well-being, and put that over profits, to the point that we're giving back and we're circulating the money and the resources in order for more people to have a better way of living and lifestyle, and not be just struggling week to week, month to month, just to make ends meet. And just like, you just kind of wonder, these rich MFers, that, you know, how much are they hoarding more and more money in order to keep us so busy that we don't look at their criminal activities. We're just so busy just trying to live and get paycheck to paycheck, you know, see our friends and family, you know, raise our families, whatever's going on in our life, that we just don't have the time to actually hold these rich dudes, not always dudes, but there's a lot of dudes, accountable for like just doing awful things, but also, you know, not paying proper living wages, you know, just giving the bare minimum financially while they're making record profits. You know, there's too many corporations where clearly the bottom line financially is all that really matters to the company, because it just shows in their actions. And like, there's this vicious circle, because you kind of think, well, all of our like retirement funds and like investments and that, you know, most of us don't monitor them day to day as to what we're investing in. And likelihood is a lot of us are investing in those very companies. So technically, a ton of us are shareholders in these huge companies, and yet they keep driving this money first narrative, because they want to have good value for shareholders. But then, like, if we're so attached to the money still coming no matter what, without looking at what the business is actually doing and unethical ways and practices of how they're happening, then like, are we not part of the problem too? This is just something that's played on my mind recently, and honestly, I don't have an answer as to like what to do, because you want to make sure that your money's invested and is going to grow so that you have money there for retirement, because you're on the hamster wheel of just trying to make sure that you survive as long as you're able to survive while you're alive, and that part of that is like thinking about the future and how you're going to fund that. And yeah, I just feel like in a way the Epstein files coming out has just, I mean, I personally have felt it's just shown me how it's just keeping us busy on our little hamster wheels, just trying to get by, barely having the energy for the things that are in our heart and soul, our creative projects that could really light up the world, because we just got to make sure that we're surviving. Like, it takes so much more money to survive, and like, as the years keep passing by, like even like 6-7 years ago, it took a lot less money to get by week to week than it does right now, and it feels like it's just gonna get harder and harder, and it's already been bloody hard lately. So I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I feel like I'm not. Anyway, my point is, fuck those guys. Let's go after what's on our hearts that's going to put good into the world, that's going to provide a service in whatever way creatively we have on our heart that we want to share. And, you know, that starts with us filling ourselves up first, romancing ourselves, finding our own way to find that beautiful creative energy within us. Because, like, creativity comes from, like, sexual energy. So one way to tap into your creativity is through your sexuality. And, like, romancing yourself is a great place to start. I feel like I need to talk about this deeper in a different video. And I will. But for now, just consider, you know, I'm being very, very open here, but like when you're feeling horny, how about you instead of using that energy to you know, have a good time, whether by yourself or with someone else, what if you transmuted that energy into creating something? I mean, what might you create that could have a really powerful energy, that beautiful romantic energy behind it? And also, like, going and, you know, using that energy for how you want to is also a beautiful way to somatically release and, you know, romance yourself, and that's wonderful too. So it's just like noticing sometimes maybe if you're feeling too much in the energy too much and you feel like you're not really creating, you're just more just feeling sexually frustrated, well, maybe that could be a great time to transmute and do some art, like, or whatever your art is, whether it's making music, writing, but like also, can you take yourself out for some moments of awe? And by awe I mean AWE, like can you go out and like leave your headphones behind and just go and look at the ocean and just be in awe of the magnificence of the ocean, or look at the sky, or, you know, a garden, or just take a walk somewhere you hadn't usually, that you notice something new and exciting. And yeah, I don't know, how can we harness our creativity and in new ways, and romance ourselves into creating the things that we're excited about. I hope this made sense because I feel like I've been on from so many different tangents, but I mean, hey, that's what you get from me, and my beautiful undiagnosed inattentive ADHD. So you're welcome. We always have fun jumping from train to train and of thoughts, over here. But yeah, I just will leave you with the fact that you are the most important person in your life. So if you're not getting romance elsewhere, and even if you are, even if you are, like, still romance yourself first, because you get, like, if it feels lacking, it's like, well, what are you doing, like, for yourself that gives you romantic energy? If you're not believing romance is possible for you, and you're not showing it to yourself in ways, like, you're not, like, are you gonna give that energy off to anyone else that could actually potentially be a romantic partner? If you're even looking for that, are you going to give the romance off to potential projects that you want to create? And, like, will they come to you to be vessels for being created? For you to be the vessel of them being created, if that makes sense? Like, you have to be willing and open, heart open to the romance of life. Not just, like, romance with a person or people, or just, like, you have to be open, heart open in many ways, and it's not always like it's not always to do with relationships, is what I'm saying. Like, having just romance in your life. Like, I love the Charlie XCX song, Everything is Romantic, because if you choose for it to be, it can be. Anyway, if you don't know that song, go listen to it. It's a good time. I like the one where she did a remix of it with Caroline Polachek. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But yeah, it's a good time. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Happy Valentine's Day, Galentine's, Ewentines, whatever day. And go romance yourselves. Crazy thing to say, but I like it.